$1.25 plus postage. The memory power system works for anyone at any age. Call now to order. Call 1-800-831-1616. That's 1-800-831-1616. There is no better way to acquire new memory power. Call 800-831-1616.
USA Radio Network News, this is Russ Rossman. The Federal Reserve turned aside a multitude of predictions today by keeping it.
Must have taken the Fed president a couple laps around the Rose Garden and told him how important it was to keep rates where they are throughout the fall. It's very surprising, but I've got to conclude that politics played a role.
Clinton spoke at the UN today and signed a treaty banning all nuclear test explosions. Later, campaigning in New Jersey, he denied Republican charges that he pushed through the biggest tax hike in history.
Of course it wasn't. The biggest one in history was in 1982. Under President Reagan, and he supported it and signed it. I wasn't around.
Clinton proposed a bigger tax hike than Reagan's, but Congress...
Coming up next on Channel 13 is high school football, right after these messages from the Sydney-Shelby County YMCA.
Is the perfect place to spend your valuable time. We offer classes to build strong children, strong families, and a stronger community. Members can now participate in several leagues and fitness classes at no additional charge. Babysitting is available for children during some scheduled classes. From family swims to aerobic classes, weight training, volleyball, basketball, volleyball, swimming, weightlifting, and cardiovascular workouts, there is truly something for everyone at the YMCA. Join today and begin a healthier and happier lifestyle. If you are in need of child care, call the Sydney-Shelby County YMCA with 2 convenient locations. We provide infant care starting at 6 weeks and child care to age 12. Our staff is qualified, professional, and most of all, caring. Bright and modern facilities provide a safe and secure environment for your child. Our hours are 5:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m., and we're conveniently located to better serve you. For information and registration, call us at 498-2273.
Welcome, everybody, to Warner 13 Game of the Week, Sydney Yellow Jacket replay. Tonight featuring Sydney at Piqua in a 4th game of the season battle of undefeateds. It's brought to you by Cargill Incorporated, Kerrigan, Bowler, Stevenson, and Gottemiller attorneys, TC Sports and Design, the Sydney-Shelby County YMCA, Star Bank, Sydney Ford Lincoln Mercury, the Heinfeld Insurance Agency, Sydney Interstate Shell, the Dog Pound, Minster State Bank, the Spot and Frisch's Restaurants, Travel to Paradise, Area Energy and Electric, the North Dixie Drive-Through Carryout, Wilson's Cardinal Foods, People's Federal Savings and Loan Association, Errol Browd and Allen Browd of Edward Jones and Company, Emerson Wagner Realty, the Farrington Restaurant, A&B Machine Incorporated, the Field House near the University of Dayton, Myers Garage and Drive-Through Carryout in Newport, the Dickman Insurance Agency, F.D. Lawrence Electric, Thermoseal Incorporated, and Shelby County Collectibles. Our cameraman is John Hemp from Hemp Imagery in Sydney, specializing in still and video photography of weddings and other memorable events like this Game of the Week. Call him at 492-7313. He promises he'll give you his best shot. Both Sydney and Piqua have completed their non-conference schedules with undefeated marks of 3-0. They get together this evening at Wirt Stadium right here in Piqua. We'll be back with Sydney Yellow Jacket head coach Scott Roddy after these words.
This is Bruce Dickman of the Dickman Insurance Agency. representing the Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. I deal with individuals and small businesses in the areas of life and health insurance, disability income, and pension planning. I'm located just south of People's Federal in downtown Sydney, at the corner of Ohio and South Streets. I'll be glad to meet with you to discuss your personal or business situation. Call me, Bruce Dickman, at the Dickman Insurance Agency. While I have your attention, I'd like to extend an invitation on behalf of the Sydney Vespa Quarterback Club. If you'd like to review tonight's game film with head coach Scott Rowdy, you're welcome to join us this Tuesday night at 7:30 at the Sydney Moose Lodge. A brief business meeting precedes the film. We also encourage you to join the Vespa Quarterback Club in support of Sydney football.
Coach, the visit to Xenia last week, I would say minus a few plays, that was on the verge of being a big blowout.
Very easily could have been, we just found ways to put them back in the game, but I thought that the kids, at no time did I really fear that we'd lose that game just because of the domination on the line. Anytime you got your two backs going over 100 yards and about 350 yards rushing, the line of scrimmage was well controlled, and the kids were having a good time, and it was something that, for the last 3 weeks now, we've done a good job controlling the line of scrimmage with our big kids up front, and our backs run extremely hard. So, it was on the verge of being a big one. Now it was a nail-biter. It's something like we're giving everybody their money's worth this year so far.
Momentum on the way to Piqua.
Well, I feel good about it. Kids feel good. They've had these goals and these dreams for a long time, and these seniors have been working their butts off along with the young kids behind them. And there's not going to be a motivational factor here. These kids are ready to play. They've had a great week of work. I think they're well coached as far as game plan. Now we just got to execute.
The Jackets defensively have had some pretty good football games against Piqua in recent memory.
Real good. 2 years ago, 13 points, a long pass play at the end of the first half, and then we dropped a bad snap on a punt, and they got the ball in our 12 to beat us 13-0. Last year was 15 on a play where our defensive back slipped. So, it's going to be the offense, I think, Sakiti, this week or this year, because we've not scored on them in 3 years. They've done a great job defending us. They've had dominant defenses, so it's going to be up for our senior line and our backfield to really take control.
Some new wrinkles offensively against Piqua to hit that scoreboard?
Well, I think we're just going to be more coming at you type of offense this week. We're not going to maybe not buck as much, use the buck sweep. We'll use the power and the isolation inside trap them, quick pass them to the flats, give them a lot of different formation looks and recognitions so they can adjust or try to adjust. It's going to be like a heavyweight fight. We're going to punch, get out of it, get something else, not give them time to really adjust to a lot of formations and motions that we're going to use.
Will it be a healthy Sydney football team that heads down I-75?
Oh, but David, of course, and we're hoping to get him back in a couple weeks. But John's fine, and everybody seems ready to go.
Biggest football game the Jackets have played in quite a while.
Big football game. It's great for the kids, great for the communities. 2 3-0 teams going at it. It's been for a long time we've never been at this situation, and have Piqua at the 4th game I think is a real plus. I think we get by these guys and do a good job with these guys, we could have a real successful year. But this is by far the biggest test we'll have this year.
Sydney head coach Scott Rowdy is our pregame guest on Yellow Jacket Replay, Warner 13 Game of the Week. Stadium right here in Piqua. Dave Ross along with Dale Gibbon for tonight's festivities between the Sydney Yellow Jackets and the Piqua Indians. Dale, one thing John Hemp has not photographed so far is any empty seats.
There sure aren't, Dave, and if he scans around the end zones, you'll see why. Standing room only down to our left. That would be the north end of Wirt Stadium here, as they've lined the fence that keeps the fans away from the field of play. And they're 2 to 3 deep at that end, and down to our right, about halfway around. They're filling up that area as well. So we've got a jam-packed crowd here tonight, and it's absolutely an ideal evening for football. And Dave, they're packed to the gills, and only the 4th game of the season, and we've got a real barn burner.
Dale, one comment I made about the Yellow Jackets' current schedule when we realized that Piqua, of course, automatically would rotate to the top of the league schedule was the fact that there have been some years recently when Sydney has taken what proved to be some false hopes to the last few games of the season. They weren't getting good tests in the league early in the campaign. With the rotation of the schedule, that's no longer the case.
Well, you're absolutely right. This is a mighty big game, and it'll speak very highly of the Jackets' hopes of going to postseason play if they're victorious here this evening, especially. Piqua, being a Division I school, carries an awful lot of weight in the computer point rankings, and that could help the Jackets considerably. But, however, another thing to look at, a loss does not put them out of any playoff picture by a long stretch. There's a lot of football left to be played. This is a very tough conference, and the Yellow Jackets still can do very well, even if they were to come away with a loss here this evening, so no reason to get their dauber down. The Jackets, Dave, have been playing somewhat erratically in the first 3 games, but fortunately for the Jackets, they've all been victories. So if you can tighten up the loose nuts, if you will, and really hold the ship together, the Jackets could do very well this evening.
At halftime of this game, People's Federal Savings and Loan Association will step forward to bring you the Pride of Sydney Marching Band Show. People's Federal has been in step with the financial needs of the local individual consumer since all the way back in 1886, a full 10 years before high school football made its Sydney debut under head coach John G. Kaufman, who was also the school principal. Their downtown Sydney location was designed by the legendary Louis Sullivan and opened in 1917. People's Federal specialties include home mortgages, various checking plans, savings accounts, certificates of deposit, and consumer loans. People's Federal congratulates the band members who will be performing at halftime. They're an equal opportunity lender. They'll see you at halftime. Cargill Incorporated's 130 years of grain trading and processing allows Cargill to provide complete market information. Locally, Cargill's soybean plant in Sydney purchases beans directly from farmers. Minimum load size is 250 bushels. Call 1-800-762-1246 to talk with Andrea or Salisa about marketing alternatives. Or call after business hours for current bid information. Bean dump hours are 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, with extended hours during harvest. Sell your grain directly to the end user and maximize profits by calling Cargill. For your consideration from Kerrigan, Bowler, Stevenson, and Gottemiller, attorneys and counselors at law. When Roger settled his personal injury claim, he never thought about its effect on his other pending legal matters. But we did. It's not enough to be tough and smart when handling a client's affairs. You also have to know about his health, his family, and his financial picture. That's why we prepare wills, trusts, and powers of attorney for our clients, not just settle claims. We handle divorce, custody, and support matters, along with estates, bankruptcies, and the organization and incorporation of businesses. So when Roger got hurt in an auto accident and came to us, he didn't have to tell us about his pending divorce. We already knew. We were his attorneys. We have been a full-service law firm serving clients like Roger right here in Shelby County for the last 63 years. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, one which doesn't just make a quick personal injury settlement, remember Kerrigan, Bowler, Stevenson, and Gottemiller in downtown Sydney. For 63 years, your full-service attorneys. Dale, we can remember back to the 1970s where when you saw the Piqua game on the schedule, you pretty well took a victory for granted if you were Sydney. However, in 1980, a coaching change. Dave Miller came in here, was since followed by Steve Magato, who's currently the Piqua athletic director. He was followed by Bill Nees, the current coach, who was Steve's defensive coordinator. This has turned into a dandy football program that since Coach Miller arrived has only beaten Piqua once. That was back in 1989, the memorable Sydney playoff year.
Well, Dave, success breeds success, and you can also harken back to the same period of time. The Yellow Jackets pretty much had a doormat in St. Mary's year in and year out back in the 70s, and then all of a sudden that turned around. The consistency of that program speaks for itself, and now they're regrouping, but the Yellow Jackets have come up with a great victory this year against St. Mary's, and last year they were able to do very well, but they need to turn the tide against the Piqua Indians. They've pitched shutouts against the Jackets as of late, and Sydney just hasn't been able to get the ball in the end zone. So we'll see what the Jackets do tonight. I like the balanced attack the Jackets have, but they will have their hands full with Piqua. Piqua likes to throw the football, and they do it very well.
Dale, you look at that crowd across the way and realizing that the seating capacity here now is greater than it was 20-some years ago. This still has to remind you of the crowds that were here in 1968 and in 1970.
Oh, absolutely reminiscent. This is a big game for both teams. Piqua likes to pride themselves that the Piqua-Troy game is a very huge game for them. But believe you me, this is just as big a game for Piqua as it is for the Sydney Yellow Jackets. It's the Ohio State-Michigan game, if you will. It's the one where a victory kind of makes your season. And we're ready for action to start this game tonight.
Indians kick it off. It comes up very short. It'll be picked up by one of the up men at the 19-yard line. It's Van Tilburg, gets to the 30. He'll be out to the 32-yard line. He was stopped by Trent Karn, number 90. So the Yellow Jackets will go on offense, Dale, in pretty good field position.
Oh, quite often your up men in that situation are more blockers than they are runners. And Van Tilburg goes right back to take his spot in the backfield. So he almost broke one as he cut through that initial blocking line. But the Jackets will come out on offense.
And they're going to throw the ball on the first play. Look for the ball out to Spradling on this side in all likelihood. Just to see how Piqua reacts to it. Nope, they'll bring it underneath to Allen. He's got the reception, gets to the 40. It was a matter of which receiver we knew the Jackets, according to what the coaches had told us this afternoon, would throw. Now, one of the biggest things they were doing there was not trying to break one for huge yardage on the first play, but they wanted to throw and have the coaches upstairs really take a look at how the Piqua linebackers and secondary reacted to that toss.
Well, they came out in good coverage. They played it a zone, 8-yard pickup, 2nd down and 2.
From the 40-yard line at the right hash mark. Everybody tight. Van Tilburg goes in motion to the left. This will be a dive play. Plenty of first down yardage for 41 Kent Witt. And he's got the yardage sufficient for the first down as he'll pick up 5 when he needed 2. Let's make it a gain of 6, 1st and 10.
Oh, a nice big hole in the left side of the Piqua defense. The Yellow Jackets are able to get through and just then ran into the secondary and an official, which stopped his cutback. But it's Yellow Jacket first down.
Jackets to the line quickly with the first down and 10 situation. Everybody shifts. Goffney will hand it off. Coming back this way, Van Tilburg got some more yardage out to about the 48, maybe the 49. Pickup of 3. We'll call it 2nd down and 7. And tonight you will have the luxury of picking up quite a few of the public address announcements here in Piqua, and that will come in handy at halftime when we feature the Pride of Sydney Marching Band show. Jackets look at 2nd down and about 7. Motion with Allen to the left. Goffney to throw. That could be a double pass. Nope, it'll just be a straight screen to Van Tilburg. He's into Piqua territory as Nick Black, 99, makes the tackle. Pretty good movement up toward that first down marker, but the knee will be ruled down at the 46. Sydney looks at 3rd and 1.
Well, that time Van Tilburg, as you mentioned, Dave, I'm not so sure that wasn't a lateral. We'll have to see how it was a lateral. So that's going to be a carry for Van Tilburg of pickup on the play of about 6 yards.
It's 3rd and 1. Look for a dive here. There's motion. There is the dive with Kent Witt. Looks to have the first down. A number of Indians there, including Jason Lang, number 96. So Sydney appears to have moved the chains for the 2nd time in the game's initial possession.
Well, the preceding play, David, will be interesting because I'm sure the Jacket coaches wanted to see how the Piqua secondary was going to handle the opportunity for a double pass. Van Tilburg caught the ball and had nothing in mind but running it, but they wanted to see how Piqua would react. We'll probably see that play later on in the ball game when Sydney really needs one.
With a different purpose. Motion, Swiger going to the left. He'll be the lead blocker for Van Tilburg, who carries the mail. That'll be stretched out pretty nicely. Good job defensively by 30, Casey Clark. And that play strung out to the point the Jackets will only get a couple, so it'll be 2nd down 8. We're 3 minutes into the football game. A big night, a big crowd, a lot of hoopla. Piqua's alumni band has been here. And there was a skydiver, of course, who came in right after the national anthem, and John caught him entering your screen right at midfield. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Goffney slips it off to Witt. He'll penetrate the 40, get to the 39-yard line. Sydney looks at 3rd down 5 on a pickup of about 3.
Well, Witt was able to get through the line, but then seemed to be very tentative and unable to burst it on through any further than just that 3-yard gain. Sydney, Dave, really in what we would consider almost 4-down territory at this point in time. I think they're looking at 2 more plays if they're unsuccessful in picking up the first down on this one. Double back split out to this side.
Twin receivers toward us, one of whom is in the bottom of your picture. Goffney rolls this way, slips it off to Witt. He'll be very close to a first down at about the 34-yard line. That play was very well carried out.
It was a sprint draw as Goffney rolled out to this side. They're going to call for a measurement, Dave, and it looks from my angle to be just a little bit short. Just a few inches. We'll be able to tell you for sure once they measure. But they put the double receivers out this side, and when Piqua rotated 3 to 4 people out in coverage, they were able to hand that ball off inside. Witt with a nice piece of running. Picks up, as we said, just inches shy. So it's going to be 4th down and inches. Look for the Jackets to go with it. They've been successful in short yardage plays twice, going with Witt on pretty much a dive play. Let's see if they dial that number once again.
The 9th play of the possession will be 4th down and inches from inside the Piqua 35-yard line. A huge play early on. Double wing, the single back will be Witt behind his quarterback Goffney. See if there might be a sneak. It'll be Witt. He's got plenty. In fact, he'll be closer to 5 yards.
He burst through at the point of attack, Dave. It looks like the gain's going to be down to the 31. The spot of the ball was just shy of the 34. So pick up about 3.5 on the play. It'll be a Yellow Jacket first down, 3rd in this drive.
Football just inside the 31-yard line. That'll make it 1st and 10, as Dale indicates. A fresh set of 4 for the Yellow Jackets operating from the left hash, 4 minutes into the game. Goffney will hand it off. Van Tilburg pretty much tripped up as the first man through was Anthony Zender, number 1. So it'll be 2nd down and about 8.
Well, Van Tilburg hit the hole quickly, but as you mentioned, Zender able to trip him up. He's brought down ball just inside the Piqua 30-yard line.
A lot of people in Sydney will know Zender's father, and I tell you what, this kid is big. Goffney back to throw. That'll be just behind the intended target. That's Swiger, a tight end, down at about the 17-yard line. 17, Josh Swiger. Just behind him, falls incomplete. Sydney will look at a 3rd down play.
Now Goffney rolling left and having to throw against his body as Piqua was able to get people in penetration and force that throw a little early. Derek off balance, delivering the ball behind Swiger, goes incomplete. Stops the clock, 7:31 to go, first quarter.
The Jackets meet their biggest rival on opening night of the 15th year of competition in the Greater Miami Valley Conference. Motion this way with Allen. Goffney rolls the same way and wants to throw it. Running out of room, unloads it deep. That's intercepted back at the 2-yard line. Back for Piqua, Ryan Darner, number 80, makes the catch. And Dale, I don't know that that's all bad for Sydney.
Well, it was a 3rd down and long. Sydney probably for all purposes out of field goal territory where they were. And they threw it up for grabs. So Piqua picks it off, but the tackle was made immediately. They're going to spot the ball at the 4-yard line. So where Piqua will take over on the turnover. And it'll be 1st and 10. So you can punt it and get it outside the 5. But now Piqua quickly to the line on offense.
Indians with a very talented Lillicrap at quarterback. Hands it off to his first man through. That's Manson. Zach Manson carried the mail for the Indians. Luke Allen makes the stop. It's only out to the 6. It's 2nd and 8.
They went with a quick trap inside. Allen with a great tackle.
As we look at conference stats this week, you see a lot of Piqua names offensively, both running and catching the football. Twin receivers out of your view to the right. Lillicrap dishes it off. That'll be to Manson, taking it straight ahead over the 20, all the way out to the 23-yard line. So that'll be a pickup of 17. It's 1st and 10 for the Piqua Indians. They've got some room as Ludwig makes the stop for the Jackets. The Indians get the breathing room that they needed.
Well, the first play kept them bottled up, but that one burst through for a big gain and Piqua 1st down. And as you mentioned, they're no longer in the shadow of their own goalpost.
Piqua averaging over 31 points through 3 non-conference games. Lillicrap on the option play will belly it, and that goes nowhere. Rob Foster, 43, carried it. He'll be stopped by Ben Pulfer, a couple of others in there for the Yellow Jackets. Brian Billing, 53, he was also on the play. Slight pickup, we'll term it 2nd and 9.
Well, Piqua likes to run the football, Dave, as well. Rob Foster averaging 6.7 a carry. Lillycraft, the quarterback, 6.3, and Manson averages 5.4 every time they touch the football.
Those are beautiful numbers. Split backs once again. Option play comes this way. Manson, Wheeler's got him.
Well, he played the option perfectly that time. He optioned the quarterback, made him go to the pitch, and as soon as he did, great reaction from Wheeler. And he's able to wrap Manson up in the backfield for a loss. He's going to be spotted back almost to the 20-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 13, a definite passing situation. This is what Sidney likes, if they can dictate when Piqua has to pass. Lillycraft only completing 44% of his throws.
But we love the way he threw the ball in the pregame warm-up. There's a fake. Now they'll run the counter play. And Allen has done the job. They're stacking up Rob Foster. That'll go nowhere. And the Indians will have to punt it away. They're able to garner 1 first down. But the Sidney defense does a job that's very much appreciated by the partisans at the east end of the stadium.
A gain on the play of only 1 yard. And as you mentioned, Dave, what a great shot in the arm to this Yellow Jacket football team. They're able to get the ball back. At least it appears they will. Piqua averaging only 29 yards a kick, Dave, so he should get pretty decent field position.
Brett Mars is their punter. He takes the snap from center. Not a bad boot. It'll hit way short. And the Jackets will let it roll. They've got to have somebody up further when you've got stats like that.
Dave, they're averaging 29 yards a kick. It went 29 yards from the line of scrimmage on the fly, and it's allowed to roll for an additional 15 yards. So the Yellow Jackets, Dave, end up giving up a 44-yard kick.
With no return.
With no return. You can't beat that.
Not if you're Piqua.
Actually, the way you beat that is you come up and you fair catch that ball at the 50-yard line, then you're in business. Now the Jackets will need another first down to cross midfield.
Jackets from the 36. Goffney calls signals. Fakes. Tosses out into the flat. Got Paul Neves out there. He'll get to midfield. 45. Down to the 41-yard line in Piqua territory with the stop made by Ryan Darner. Well conceived, Dale. Quite often when Neves is in there, the defense thinks blocking, but that's quite often when Scott Roddy thinks offense.
We sure did. Nice toss right there and a pickup on the play of 24 yards. Good running with the football and a nice one-handed catch by Neves. Goffney tossed it right out, led him well, and then he cut back in to pick up another 5 or 6 yards.
Goffney hands it off, and that'll
like
be Witt into the middle of the line. Host of Piqua tacklers and maybe a couple.
And they're going to spot the ball down just like right on the 38-yard line.
We are 8 minutes into the football game, which is scoreless. Sidney on their second possession. Piqua's had 1. The Jacket possession ended with an interception near the goal line. Piqua's ended with a punt. Double wing formation, motion with Van Tilburg. He'll take it left. Ran into the offensive lineman who was leading the play. That was 64, Nick Swiger. And that'll be knocked back for a loss. Jackets will look at 3rd down and right around 10 yards to go.
Well, that time Van Tilburg looked at nowhere to run. He's carried the ball 5 times for only 11 yards.
Now what? Timeout Piqua. Comes with 3:21 remaining in the first period. No Cleveland Browns this year? Well, there's still action aplenty at the Dog Pound behind the Sidney Econo Lodge. They've expanded their bar, added a Big Dog hot dog, and they still have Sidney's best chicken wings. Stop by the Dog Pound after your favorite Friday night high school football game, as their kitchen is open until midnight. Watch big screen NFL and college football at the Dog Pound, including the Ohio State Buckeyes, as there's a Buckeye bash every time John Cooper and company take the field. Saturday afternoon's game pits the Buckeyes against the Pittsburgh Panthers with a 12:30 kickoff. We'll see you at the Dog Pound. Tonight's sponsors include Cargill Incorporated, Kerrigan, Bowler, Stevenson, and Gottemiller attorneys, TC Sports and Design, the Sidney Shelby County YMCA, Starbank, Sidney Ford Lincoln Mercury, the Heinfeld Insurance Agency, and Sidney Interstate Shell.
Well, Dave, the Yellow Jackets face another third down and long situation. Last time they had this was their previous possession, resulted in an interception inside the 5-yard line. Jackets facing a certain passing situation. Let's see if they run to try to cross up the Piqua Indians.
It's third down 10. Goffney handed it off to Witt, who will slip through only to the 38. That'll be a punting situation from there. In case you're wondering, the quick math would have been a 55-yard field goal. That is not dictated here.
Ball spotted at the 38. Brings up the fourth down.
It's 4th and 8. Goffney will drop back just the other side of midfield. Official time probably for an equipment adjustment. Yes, it'll be, I believe, a chin strap for Sydney's right guard, 66 Mike Arns. He'll get taken care of.
Goffney averaging right at 40 yards a kick.
He takes a great snap from center and a beautiful boot. That'll be fair caught at the 9-yard line. He did his job, Dale.
He sure did. A nice, high, lazy spiral that just died inside the 10. Nice kick, no return, and Piqua once again backed up deep. Jacket defense will be called on one more time. And Dave, if the Yellow Jackets will field the punts, and if we get into an exchange of punts, the Jackets should have the advantage. About 10 yards a try, just looking at the stat sheets.
2 receivers to the left. Rob Lillycrap, the quarterback for the Tribe of head coach Bill Nees. They'll try the dive, and Sydney defenses that very well. As it's Manson. Manson got over the 10, and that's going to be about it.
Looks like they're going to spot it straddling the 10-yard line.
Pulfer and Billing on the stop for the Yellow Jackets. We'll look at second down and about 8.
Good shot from cameraman John Hemp. 2:26 left to go. Clock ticking away here in the first period.
Clock on the move. Lillycrap runs the option this way, turns inside of the containment, gets out close to the 20-yard line. He appears to have a first down. Good job running that option play. Lillycrap sold a couple of people on what he was thinking about doing and then turned up himself. Spradling in on the stop, and the Indians have penetrated the 20. So they've picked up the necessary first down yardage, and as on their previous possession, they've picked up some breathing room. Lillycrap straight back to throw, unloads it out into the flat. That, I believe, simply was through the arms of Casey Clark. It'll fall incomplete. That'll make it second down 10.
Well, we commented about the arm of Lillycrap. He throws a hard ball, and he threw that right on the money, but good coverage by Spradling. He was right there, Johnny, on the spot. Had it been completed, would not have been much of a gain. But that stops the clock. 1:53 to go in the first period. Second down and 10.
Football at the left hash mark, as we're just on the other side of midfield. That'll be a counter play that won't go anywhere. Allen, Billing, anybody else shut that off? I believe Foster was carrying. Yes, he did. He got only to the 20.
I tell you, really got to credit number 41, Ken Witt, for the Yellow Jackets. It's going to bring up third and 10, gain of about the length of a football, but he was able to get great penetration and actually was in the backfield and really forced that play offline. And by doing so, the Jacket pursuit was able to snuff it out at the line of scrimmage.
80 seconds to play in the quarter. Lillycrap. There, yeah, mix-up, as the radio announcer down to our right said. Not much doubt about that, and the Jackets get a sack. 46, Jeremy Weber in there on Lillycrap, and there did appear to be some confusion. So for a second straight Piqua possession, the Indians are able to get a first down and then go absolutely no further. They'll punt it away from the 15-yard line. The Jacket receiver,
they are going to move up now.
Yes, they are.
Number 3, John Spradling. Number 30, Howie Ludwig.
It's 4th and 15, Spradling and Ludwig. Spradling is the shorter of the two. He's right at midfield. There's the boot. It's end over end. Spradling able to pick it up at the 45-yard line. He'll go to midfield, and he's met at that point. A nice hit by Zach Manson. But the Jackets will take over at midfield. So, Dale, the progression of the swap of punts still looks good for Sydney.
That's going to be a 40-yard kick, but here again, Dave, that line drive kick was short, and they had to let it bounce. If he's able to come up, catch that on the fly, the Jackets are inside the 40. instead of being right at midfield.
30 seconds left in the period, and with the new rule this year, the clock does not start until the snap. Goffney, the quarterback, hands to Witt. He's got some room, skirting it wide to the left, gets to the 45, maybe to the 40, driven out of bounds. Yes, he's all the way to the 38-yard line, gain of a dozen. 1st and 10, Sidney. Clock stopped, 24 seconds. Still in a scoreless first quarter from Piqua's Wirtz Field. And we certainly appreciate the hospitality we're shown here by Athletic Director Steve Magato and all the fine folks in Piqua. It's the most organized press box setup that we encounter in any of our travels.
Well, that time Witt took it inside and then bounced it to the outside. Piqua really over-adjusting, looking for the trap, and he was able to get some nice yards around the end, and another Yellow Jacket first down.
It'll go this way to Van Tilburg. Zender got a hit on him, but Van Tilburg able to get 2 or 3 out of it. Also, Nick Black, 99 at the bottom of that stack. Lang also in, 90. It'll be a pickup of 3, 2nd and 7. And the first quarter will expire before another snap of the football. 12 minutes in the book, and we have no score. Sidney and Piqua. Ross Media, in cooperation with Channel 13 Productions, is pleased to bring you the exciting football action, and I'd certainly include this, of both the Sidney Yellow Jackets and Lehman Cavaliers right here on Warner 13. Our game of the week can be viewed every Saturday morning at 9. You're now watching Sidney at Piqua. Next week, it's Trotwood Madison at Sidney. The Lehman Cavaliers will be back in 2 weeks as they take on the Graham Falcons. We hope you'll join us often, and we'll set your VCR to record future presentations. Then you can create your own replays while watching at your convenience. These telecasts are made possible through the cooperation of the participating schools and the financial support of over 30 local community-minded businesses. Thanks to all concerned from Ross Media and Channel 13 Productions, your partners in locally televised high school sports. Dale, something I heard around town a couple times this week was Sidney would just have to have a Herculean effort to beat Piqua. I don't agree with that. I think the teams are largely on the same page with what they bring to the table.
Oh, I thought so as well, Dave. You look at what happened against like opponent Xenia. The Yellow Jackets really gave them 2 fluke touchdowns. If you take that away, the Jackets win by 3.5 scores. That's what Piqua beat Xenia by, 3.5 scores. I don't buy that. I thought this would be a pretty evenly matched ball game tonight.
From the 36-yard line, our second 12 minutes about to unfold. Coming this way, oh boy, that didn't go anywhere. That's Van Tilburg. First man to knife through for the Indians was 90 Trent Karn.
He was pulled down by number 1, Tony Zender, though, with a horse collar tackle. And it's going to be a loss on the play of 1 as Van Tilburg tried to get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's going to bring up 3rd and long once again for the Jackets. And, Dave, they have not been successful at 3rd and long.
3rd down, they'll need about 9 yards. Spradling and Van Tilburg split to the top of your screen at the right as we look straight down the line of scrimmage. Goffney back to throw, setting up an over-the-middle screen. He's got Spradling, but Spradling's got company. In the person of 45, Brett Mars. And let's see here. The Jackets will bring on the punting unit in the way Goffney hit the ball the last time. A similar punt would just be splendid. It's 4th down, and Sidney still needs 7.
A couple more brings a 4th and 7.
Well, Spradling made the reception, but the Jackets, Dave, are going to be forced to punt the ball away for the 2nd time tonight.
Here's the snap to Goffney. That should be over everybody.
Yeah, that's out of the end zone.
Yep. Hits the end zone, so the Indians on the touchback will come out to the 20, 1st and 10. More of our sponsors are the Dog Pound, the Minster State Bank, the Spot and Frisch's Restaurants, Travel to Paradise, Area Energy and Electric, the North Dixie Drive-Thru Carryout, and Wilson's Cardinal Foods.
Well, Dave, on the exchange of punts, the Piqua Indians gained 5 yards.
That's due to the touchback.
Yep. It's one of those you got to knock down inside the 20.
TFT, the Tribe from the 20. This will be the deep man in the formation. That's going to be 43, Rob Foster. He'll get out to the 23-yard line. Jackets bottling that up pretty well. That was 66, Mike Arns on the stop. We'll make it 2nd down, still about 7.
Also coming up off the bottom, making that shoestring stop, number 44, Seth Allen. And Dave, that was a tackle that had it not been made, it looked like Foster was going to bust open. You saw it coming right at the camera.
Twin receivers go to the left. I formation in behind Lillicrap. He'll run the option play to the left side. That'll be Manson. And making the stop will be Pulfer, among others, for the Yellow Jackets, along with Allen. Wheeler also got there. And Weber. Host of tacklers for the Yellow Jackets. The Tribe will look at third down. They'll still need still about 7.
Yeah, pick up on the play, maybe the length of the football. Nice job that time by Ben Pulfer. He just took his blocker and ran him right to the hole and smothered both blocker and ball carrier.
Pro set with a receiver either way. You see Ken Barhorst in the top of your picture taking a picture. Toss over the middle. The Indians have got a completion. That'll be 86 Brad Levy. He'll get it all the way out to the 47-yard line. So from the 23 to the 47, that'll be a pickup of 24.
24-yard completion to Levy, and boy, they really lulled the Jackets to sleep, split the receivers out, and slipped the other receiver right over the middle. He was wide open, both linebackers not getting back in time, and a nice pickup and a Piqua first down.
Scoreless football game, 9:35 till intermission. That's when we'll have the Pride of Sydney Marching Band and then our halftime report. This will be Manson once again, and for yet another time, the Jackets do just an excellent job stacking him up with Pulfer, Arns, and a host of others. Indians will go to second down and 9. Tonight's game drawing a lot of attention. You saw at the outset the White Allen blimp balloon signifying 2 news from Dayton being here. Dave Long from the Dayton Daily News on board, along with the normal complement of radio, our cable TV outfit, newspapers from both cities. It's a big game. Lillicrap on the option, turns inside a Witt. Nice job running the football. He'll get it to the 45-yard line in Sydney territory. A gain of about 7. The Tribe will look at third down and 2. The Jackets need to come up with a big defensive play.
Piqua mixing it up, and Lillicrap really cutting the ball up inside very quickly. He's kind of made up his mind he's going to run and try to turn that corner. He's been successful the last 2 times. He has done just that. Third down and 2. Jackets need to stop the Indians right here and force a punt.
It's from the right hash mark. Jackets, no, they got back. They did not jump. Loose football. Lillicrap will pick it up, and he's down for a loss. Boy, Dale, that's exactly what the Jackets needed, and oddly, it was Sydney's mistake of almost going offside that caused the Piqua indecision.
Well, and what a bullet was dodged right there by Piqua. That ball popped loose and actually laid on the shoulder pad of one of the blockers for Lillicrap to pick it up. Had that ball been knocked free, that could have been a major turnover and a real turning point for the Jackets. Now the Jackets will drop back to receive this punt.
It's 4th and 4. Mars will kick it away. Line of scrimmage, the Sydney 47-yard line. Good snap from center. Jackets set up the return. This is a good kick. Spradling will catch it at the 17-yard line, and 4 Indians are there to greet him immediately. So Sydney will set up shop at that point, first down and 10, as more of our sponsors include People's Federal Savings and Loan Association, Errol and Alan Browd of Edward Jones and Company, Emerson Wagner Realty, the Farrington Restaurant, and A&B Machine Incorporated.
Well, 30-yard kick and a 1-yard return. Jackets in business, first and 10 on their own 18. This is the worst field position the Jackets have had to start any one of their series.
Goffney will go back to throw. Pumps it into the sideline through the arms of Spradling. Incomplete as it was defended by Derek Basil.
A good call that time with the defense and man coverage and playing very soft. Spradling open, took a little 5-yard out. The ball hit him right in the hands. He just flat out dropped it, and it goes incomplete. He would have had room to turn it up and pick up 2 or 3 yards. I think he thought the defender was a little closer than what he was. That'll bring up a second down and 10.
Split this way for the Yellow Jackets, Ryan Smith, 23. Goffney will come this way. He'll unload it, got his man underneath. That'll be Swiger. Josh Swiger will take it out to the 35-yard line, where Sydney, on a gain of 17 yards, has picked up a first down.
Ryan Darner in defensively for the Indians.
Dale, we neglected to mention that the Indians' last possession ended as the first 3 with a first down and then out.
Well, David, that play right there gets the Jackets a first down, and a play very reminiscent of a few years ago when we used to see Jason Kennedy come down inside and take that tight end pass.
There's Spradling out in the right flat for the Yellow Jackets, tackled by Basil. The gain will be 3, second down 7. Clock on the move. We're in the final 7 minutes of what has been a very rapidly moving first half.
Dave, a pass like that also sets up your wide man for the out and up. They got to give you that play. If they're not, when you're in man coverage, they're easily gone with a pump, fake, and go. And, of course, Goffney's got the arm that can burn you on that one.
Double wing, receiver right. You get a look at all of it, including Allen going in motion. Goffney will throw it into the sideline well over the head of Allen, who was pretty well defended there by 86 Brad Levy, who had a long catch for Piqua moments ago that took the Tribe into Yellow Jacket territory. Sidney now will look at 3rd down 7. The clock is stopped at 6:31, and we have no score.
Well, that time Goffney rolling out, tried to put a little extra zip on that ball, and it just sailed on him. Not able to really set up and throw to deliver.
The northern part of this conference did the best during the non-league portion. There will be an end around back this way with Spradling. Goffney got him a block. Spradling to the 40, but a pretty good job of sealing over there as Casey Clark worked that back in along with Anthony Zender. So Sidney will look at 4th down. The Jackets try some gimmickry. Piqua, Sidney, and Troy are the 3 teams in the conference that were perfect outside of the league. Greenville and Northmont both 2-1. Vandalia and West Carrollton 1-2. Trotwood having their problems at 0-3. This will be Goffney's boot, and that's a driver. Beauty. Down to the 25-yard line, and beautiful down there by Swiger. Boy, I want to tell you, in a big hurry, Josh Swiger got down there for the Yellow Jackets. He covered Casey Clark back at the 25-yard line, so the Indians will start. Let's make it the 26 and a half.
Well, 35-yard punt and a 1-yard return and great coverage, and the reason there was is because it had great hang time. Really kept that ball up in the air, and a nice kick by Goffney. We're going to have a timeout called by Piqua, Dave, once again. So that'll be the second timeout they've called thus far here this evening in the first half.
Starbank offers a team of checking accounts that rewards you for banking with them. Each account offers a wide selection of specific plans to match your lifestyle and to meet your specific financial needs, including checking accounts that pay interest. You can also add extra value to your Starbank checking account with the Smart Choices Benefits Package. For complete details about Starbank checking plans and Smart Choices, ask your Starbank representative. Starbank, bank without boundaries, member FDIC. Also with us, the Field House near the University of Dayton, Myers Garage and Drive-Thru Carryout in Newport, the Dickman Insurance Agency, FD Lawrence Electric, Thermoseal Incorporated, and Shelby County Collectibles.
Well, Dave, this game's really starting to take on a very, very interesting complexion. Both defenses look to be up to the task and shutting down each other's offense. So it looks like it may be the first team to make a mistake and allow the other team to take advantage of that. May be the turning point in this ball game. The Jackets tried to move the ball but punted it away. Now Piqua goes in business, 1st and 10 in their own end of the field. Ball spotted just inside their 27.
Twin receivers to the left for veteran quarterback Rob Lillicrap. They'll run the option play. Lillicrap will keep it and get to the 30. He's got some big people up front to block for him, but Piqua won't face too many teams this year where they are outsized offensive line to offensive line on that comparison. But Sidney is a team that has a bigger offensive line than does Piqua. The gain will be won. It's 2nd and 9.
Well, if you get a chance, you can run this back at home and take a look at the way Pulford takes care of number 50, Chris Castle, 6'2" and 232. Took him to the ball carrier and threw him on top of the quarterback.
Pitch back comes this way, trying to turn the corner, Rob Foster. And the Jackets will do a good job again defensively. That'll be a gain of a yard. We'll go to 3rd and 8. It's a team effort. Allen over there along with Wheeler. Bottom of the stack, Brian Billing, 53. Jeremy Weber, 46. A whole host of folks. It's a big possession play upcoming. 3rd down, it'll be about 7 for the Tribe.
Well, just when Piqua thinks they're going to break through and get a gainer, the Jackets defense really putting the hat on them. That time just stopping Foster dead in his tracks.
7 years ago, Sidney's last win over Piqua. Lillicrap back to throw, got some time, sets it up, got his man over the middle, 43 Rob Foster into the open. He's able to get to midfield. A couple of Yellow Jackets will finish him off, including Wheeler, with the gain down to the 49-yard line. From the 29 to the opposite 49 will be a gain of 22. First and 10, Indians get a big conversion on 3rd down and 7. And keep in mind, we're moving toward halftime as we show 4:22.
Well, Dave, the same type of play. The Jackets doubled up on the tight end, but the back was able to slip out of the formation. And Lillicrap got him the football.
Indians come this way on the dive. That's just a quick couple of yards.
That'll be Foster once again. It looks like he may have picked up a yard.
I don't think so. That's going to be 45 Brett Mars this time.
I'm sorry. Correct.
Newcomer. He got a yard, though. The net result's been about the same. Lillicrap has had more success, Dale, when he's hung onto the ball on those options. This is 2nd and 9 with 3:45. The Tribe doesn't spend much time in the huddle. Lillicrap back to throw, unloads it into the sideline. That'll be too low for Levy, the intended target, but Wheeler had good defense on top of it.
He had great coverage all the way. The ball thrown low and outside. Levy unable to come up with it. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9. Jackets with another opportunity to snuff the Piqua Indian drive. They really need to get some decent penetration on the quarterback, Dave. Look for the Jackets perhaps to come with a blitz right here.
Play comes in via the wide receiver, Jeff Sharp, number 38, as he teams with Ryan Darner at the right wideouts. Lillicrap to throw, unloads it deep. Oh boy, Jackets got some defense over there. The intended target was 43, Rob Foster. Sidney able to run 2 defenders in there.
Trying to get a number, I believe it was 25 for the Yellow Jackets. That'll be Nash Pillsbury with an excellent job of breaking up that pass. The Jackets, interestingly enough, Dave, put Witt out to cover the wide receiver, and Nash Pillsbury dropped back to play free safety, and what an excellent job he did in knocking that ball away. 4th and 9, Piqua forced to punt.
This will be Mars' boot. Sidney sets up the return. This will be a knuckler toward the sideline. It'll hit at the 22, to the 15, down to the 10. The Jackets will start at the 9-yard line.
I really think you got to put somebody up about 25 yards from the line of scrimmage, Dave, because his punts are just dying knucklers, and the Yellow Jackets would save themselves an awful lot of yardage if they would do that. But that ball's going to be whistled dead inside the 10-yard line of the Yellow Jackets, and Dave, that's another 35-yard kick with about 20 yards with a roll.
Spradling splits to the right. See how closely the Jackets play it to the vest at this point. Goffney will go back to throw, pump fake. He'll unload it. Spradling
got it.
He's to the 40. He's to midfield into Piqua territory. He's going to go all the way to the 44-yard line on Piqua's side of midfield. 31 and 6, gain of 37, Dale. Boy, that ball he was able to catch that right in stride.
Wait, the spot was on the 9-yard line, am I correct? That
41 to midfield, not 31 to midfield, 41.
That's right.
Add 10 to it.
Righto, so that's going to be 41 and 5, a 46-yard reception to Spradling.
So now so much for being in the shadow of the goal line. This will be Witt over the right side, gang tackle, but after a gain of about 3, we'll go to 2nd and 7, and things look different as the clock moves inside the 3-minute mark.
Well, Dave, we mentioned that the Jackets were setting up that wide out for that out and up, and when they went with a pump fake, Spradling ran by the defender as if he were set in concrete, and the ball thrown right on the fingertips. A great catch by Spradling. It's now the Yellow Jackets on the move.
2nd and 7, clock is moving as well. Handoff will go to Witt. Witt's down to the 38-yard line. I'm sure Sidney would like to at least get a field goal attempt before halftime. Manson among the Piqua tacklers along with Karn. So Sidney looks at 3rd down, and they'll need 3.
Well, the Jackets said going in, Dave, they're going to mix things up. Going to be like a boxer, going to hit you one way and then change it around and hit you another, and that's pretty much what they've done, really keeping it mixed up.
Goffney will hand it off to Witt. He's going to be close. Let's see where forward progress goes. At any rate, Dale, 4th down would be a no-brainer if that comes up.
It looks like the spot of the ball is going to be just shy or maybe touching the 35-yard line, so that brings them up shy by just less than a yard. So the Jackets will send in a play, and they'll be going for it here, of course, on 4th down and 1. The ball just outside the 35-yard line of the Piqua Indians. 1:44 and counting. The Jackets have their full complement of timeouts remaining.
And the Sydney crowd collectively on its feet across the way. You can see some of them in the top of your screen. Goffney will hand it off. That's first down yardage. Kick Witt over right guard, and the Jackets doing a pretty good job on the line of scrimmage, blowing the people over there.
Down by Brett Barr.
First and 10, Sydney. The football will be spotted at the 33-yard line. We're down, though, to a minute 29.
Piqua 33, first and 10 Jackets.
Everybody's set in terms of the chains. The clock rolls again with a minute 28. Jackets do the rotation. It's a double wing once again. Goffney will hand it off to Van Tilburg. He'll head left. That play is strung out nicely. Manson makes a stop back at the 35. Sydney needs to use a timeout, and that is exactly the call with 1:10 until intermission.
Sydney calls timeout.
It's my pleasure to welcome Sydney Ford Lincoln Mercury to this evening's telecast and also our series of Game of the Week. Sydney Ford wants you to save time and money with the factory authorized clearance sale that's on now. Any new Ford car or 96 Ranger truck on Sydney Ford's lot includes free rust proofing. This is only for viewers of this contest between Sydney and Piqua. Tell them you heard it here, and you'll save more time and money than ever. Sydney Ford Lincoln Mercury is across from Walmart just west of I-75. See them while selection is best, and be sure to mention this telecast. Sydney Ford Lincoln Mercury.
Well, Dave, the Yellow Jackets now have second down and about 10 and a half to go. You really would expect the Jackets are going to have to throw the football at this point in time. They still have a couple of timeouts left, but they need to get the ball down, I would say, about another 10 yards to get into what would be reasonable field goal range.
Yeah, right now they'd still be kicking about a 50-yard field goal, and Swiger's got an excellent leg. Brandon Swiger, number 86, but I think his best shot would be 40 on in.
Well, what you need to use right now are some hook patterns, some comebacks, so you can get those 5-6 yard pops. The Jackets need to collect 2 of them right now as it's second down and long.
Double wing, single receiver to the left. That'll be Witt carrying the football inside the 30, loose to the 25, down to the 23, very close to the first down. And the clock will have to be stopped while they double check and see where everything unstacks compared to the down marker in the chains.
Well, if Sydney'd be smart, they'd ask for a measurement, and it looks like
there's
there's
one coming anyway.
There's one coming anyhow, but that's where you've got to be on top of things, because the Jackets could have gotten the clock stopped. But it's going to be either third down and very, very short, or it's going to be a first down for the Yellow Jackets. And Dave, we're in field goal range.
We are now, and we're in first down range. Sydney's third first down of the possession. And I tell you, there's a lot of enthusiasm on the Sydney side of the field. It's a scoreless football game. We now have 1:04.
And a gutsy call. Everybody's thinking pass. The Jackets dial run, and a good run it was by Ken Witt. Picks up the Jacket first down.
Van Tilburg in motion. The counter will come back this way with Paul Neves. Anthony Zender was waiting for it. It'll be a loss of a yard. Second down 11. We're down to 50 seconds. Sydney will take another timeout. And so that we don't get caught just a little bit short as we lead into the Sydney Band Show, which will lead off halftime, we will remind you that high school football has a great tradition in this part of the country, and the sound of the high school marching band is as much a part of the tradition as the game itself. That's why People's Federal Savings and Loan Association of Sydney will be pleased at the outset of halftime to put the Sydney Pride of Sydney halftime band show into the spotlight, reflecting People's Federal's ongoing community involvement. People's Federal has been your locally operated financial center for 110 years, and they're justifiably proud of the role they play in the local economy. People's Federal is an equal opportunity lender, and they'll be taking the opportunity at halftime to present and salute the Pride of Sydney marching band.
Well, Dave, I think the Yellow Jackets may be looking at their situation now and assessing it, saying, we don't want to turn the ball over here. Let's get some points on this possession. I would almost expect the Jackets to try to run the football twice, to not turn it over, and then kick a field goal.
Neves goes in motion to the right. Goffney back to throw. Into the sideline, unloads it, got a completion to Paul Neves. He'll get to the 8-yard line. First and goal, Sydney from the 8.
Well, just like I said, Dave, it's a good time to pass the football.
I signaled pass.
Oh, I know you did.
You got a couple of good knees to the side there while Goffney was rolled out to the right. It's 1st and goal, Dale. Clock on the move with 40 seconds. Sydney has a timeout left. They need to get out of the huddle quickly.
A 15-yard completion right there, Dave, and the Yellow Jackets clock is moving at 30 seconds.
1st and goal from the 9 on the completion to Paul Neves. Handoff, moving inside, close to the touchdown. Let's see, he's in. Touchdown, Sydney. Kent Witt is in the end zone. The Jackets are ahead of Piqua, and the scoring drought against the Indians is over. Extra point will be Brandon Swiger. The Jackets will move the swinging gate. Here they come.
What a nice job of mixing things up. When you're thinking run, Jackets went to pass. When you're thinking pass, the Jackets dial run.
Swiger for the point after touchdown out of Ratterman's hole. Boom. Did he get that one airborne? It's across the street. Sydney leads 7-0. 19 seconds till our halftime intermission. So, Dale, the Jackets, let's add this up. This is worth reflecting on. They go 91 yards in 10 plays. It takes 3 minutes and 6 seconds. Since 1907, homemade fresh food has been served and enjoyed at the Spot Restaurant on Courthouse Square in downtown Sydney. The current feature at the Spot, I'm going to like this one, a foot-long hot dog for just $1. Make it a Coney foot-long for $1.30. Barry Eilert says it's just like being in Cincinnati. The Spot offers dine-in, carry-out, and curb service, in addition to catering for any size group. You know, during the week, starting at 4:30, think about their blue plate specials. I saw some ham and scalloped potatoes the other night. They're au gratin potatoes that looked awfully good. That's the Spot Restaurant, like high school football, a great Sydney tradition.
We'll see what kind of kickoff we get here, Dave. Only 19 seconds to go. The Jackets, of course, have Brandon Swiger, who has such a great kicking leg and has the ability to kick it out of the end zone. But also the Jackets have been burned twice this year with kickoffs that have been run back for touchdowns. So the Jackets very happy with a 7-0 lead, but that's what they want to take to halftime.
Right, you don't want to hand back 24 minutes of work. There's Swiger's line drive kick down the middle. It'll be fielded at the 15-yard line. Wheeler knifes through to make the stop on Ryan Darner. Is that football loose? No, it's just enthusiasm over the quality of the hit.
It was a dandy.
Yes, it was. The Jackets are on fire.
What would Coach Hunsucker call that?
A slobber knocker.
Bingo.
So from the 28-yard line, Piqua with the football. Again, with the rule change this year, the clock doesn't start until the snap. Tribe from the 28. Sydney on top, 7-0. Pro set. See if Lillicrap wants to throw it. Hands it off on the first leg of the option play. It's 33, Zach Manson. He'll get out to the 32, and it looks like we're going to halftime. Allen on the stop, and the Sydney crowd collectively on their feet. As we have, they've enjoyed the first 24 minutes of Yellow Jacket football. At halftime, Sydney leads Piqua 7-0, and we'll be picking up the public address announcements for the performance at halftime of the Pride of Sydney Marching Band under the direction of Carol Cutler.
Ladies and gentlemen, entering from the far side of the field, the Pride of Sydney Yellow Jacket Marching Band. The band is led onto the field by field commanders Shane Spinner, Penny Fisher, and Shanda Foster. The flag captain is Michelle Henman, and co-captain is Allison Austin. Majorette captain is Wendy King. In 1968, Chicago musicians formed a group with one dream: to integrate all of the musical diversity from the beloved city of Chicago and to weave a new sound, a rock and roll band with horns. Their dream turned into 20 top 10 singles and 12 top 10 albums. 5 of their albums were #1 with sales of more than 100 million records. From their earliest beginnings as the Chicago Transit Authority to their present name Chicago, this group holds a place of honor in the history of rock and roll. Tonight, the band will open with horn soloists Kenny Cutler and Molly Heidemann in Make Me Smile. Our next selection from the group Chicago is one of their most popular hits. Taken from their first successful album, Chicago Transit Authority, this next hit was the group's 3rd top 10 hit in a row. Re-released as a single in 1971, Does Anybody Really Know What Time It Is will feature trumpet soloist Mike Hyman and trombone soloist Charlie Plain.
It's halftime with Sydney leading
Our
Piqua
third
7-0.
selection of the evening is one of Chicago's later pieces. The song was noted for its strong jazz influence, hard-driving rhythms, and powerful guitar solo. Not one of the group's better-known works, this song sent the group in a new direction and influenced their music for the next several years. Featuring the trumpet section, here is Free. To close tonight's Chicago show, the band will perform one of their all-time mega hits from their album Chicago 2, which immediately went gold upon its release from the summer of 1970, a song about trying to write a song. Sitting cross-legged on the floor, here is 25 or 6 to 4. Gentlemen, the pride of Sydney Yellow Jacket Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Mr. Carol Cutler. The Assistant Director of Bands and Flag Corps Advisor is Mrs. Carolyn Christman. The Majorette Advisor is Mrs. Brenda Elliott, and the Majorette routines were created by Mrs. Gay Brewer. Mr. Philip Chilcote is Director of Percussion. This is your announcer, Lisa the Voice Bodart. Thank you for your kind attention and have a wonderful evening.
Tonight's Pride of Sydney Marching Band show has been a community service provided by People's Federal Savings and Loan Association of Sydney. Dale, I thought the band was about as good as the football team.
Oh, it's been just a real nice evening all the way around, David. I'm looking at a stat sheet that looks an awful lot like the one we've seen the past 3 weeks. Sydney dominated. David, the Yellow Jackets have rolled to a 7-0 halftime lead on the strength of both a running and passing attack. A very balanced effort from the Yellow Jackets offensively. The Piqua Indians, on the other hand, if you look at their numbers, it's balanced as well, but not very strong. Only 40 yards they've been able to net on the ground and 46 yards through the air. Quarterback Rob Lillycraft has completed only 2 of 5 attempts for 46 yards, one a 24-yarder to Brad Levy and a 22-yarder to Foster coming out of the backfield, both, of course, for first downs. But other than that, he's dialed empty when trying to pass the football. They've tried to run against the Yellow Jackets and have met with no success whatsoever. Rob Foster, averaging 6.7 yards per carry with 3 touchdowns coming into this ball game, has carried the ball 5 times, 7 yards. Rob Lillycraft, quarterback, averaging 6.3 yards per carry. He also has 3 touchdowns on the season. He's carried the ball 5 times, 10 yards. Zach Manson has averaged 5.4 yards per carry, and he has scored 1 touchdown this year. He's carried the ball 6 times, 22 yards. Good numbers for the Yellow Jacket defense. A total offense of 86 yards. The Jackets, on the other hand, Dave, as I mentioned, a very balanced attack. Senior quarterback Derek Goffney is 6 of 10 in the passing department, 114 yards. He's completed 1 to tight end Swiger for 17, 3 to John Spradling for 50 yards. The big one coming in the scoring drive, that one going 46 yards. Also a completion to Allen for 8 and 2 to Neves for 39 yards. One really setting up the score as he was able to get inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. In the rushing department, it's been led by Kent Witt. Kent has carried the ball now for a total of 12 times for 67 yards to lead the Jackets. Chris Van Tilburg has carried the mail 8 times for 12 yards. And that's been basically it from the Yellow Jacks running attack. A total of 94 yards rushing, 114 yards in the air, 208 yards of total offense for the Jackets. They lead in the first down department, as you might suspect, 9-4 over the Piqua Indians. Both teams have punted several times. Really, an exchange of punts was kind of the way things went until just moments before halftime. The Jackets have kicked it 3 times, averaging just under 35 yards per punt. Piqua has punted 4 times, averaging right at 35 yards per kick. Let's recap the one and only scoring drive, and that was taken care of by the Yellow Jackets of Sydney. In the second period, Dave, it was a 10-yard drive, a 10-play drive that started at their own 11-yard line. It went the 9-yard line because it went 91 yards. And it culminated with a Kent Witt run of 8 yards. The point after was good. It was Yellow Jackets 7-0. And Dave, a couple of real nice pass plays in that. An out and up to Spradling that went for 46 yards, got the Jackets into Piqua territory. And then a big pass play to Neves that he was able to take the ball inside the Piqua 10. And then Witt went in with just 19 seconds left. The Jackets up 7-0.
In the background, the Piqua Alumni Band is performing. They're like the kicker who makes the game-winning field goal. They're Motorists Insurance Company's pace setter agents, like Jeff Sargent at the Heinfeld Insurance Agency, and they're in a league all their own. Pace setters are an elite group of motorist agents who set the standard for other insurance professionals in the industry. Heinfeld Insurance in Sydney is a pace setter agency. Motorist Insurance Companies say, you know us, and now you know a motorist pace setter agent. Jeff Sargent of the Heinfeld Insurance Agency on the south side of downtown Sydney. The Minster State Bank is your locally owned and operated full-service financial institution, providing up-to-date financial services delivered directly to you by folks that you know and trust. Whether you're looking for competitive rates on your deposits, a custom-tailored loan, or most any financial service, why sacrifice convenience, safety, or personal attention? Get it all the way you like it at any of their offices in Sydney, Minster, New Bremen, Wapakoneta, or St. Mary's. That's the Minster State Bank, member FDIC, and an equal opportunity lender. Again at halftime, the Yellow Jackets lead Piqua 7-0. The second half kickoff is right around the corner. Brandon Swiger tees it up to start the second half of play. The third 12 minutes on the board, the Yellow Jackets on top 7-0. The Indians not able to pick up more than a single first down on any of their first half possessions. A trio of Indians back around the 5-yard line await the boot. This will be inside the 10. It'll come to the 8-yard line. That's going to be Casey Clark. He'll bring it up the middle, hit by a couple of people, finally wrapped up by 69, Patrick Cron for the Yellow Jackets. The gain will be to the 27-yard line. And Piqua goes from there, first down and 10.
Well, a one-man wrecking crew, Ryan Wheeler coming down, Dave, on that kickoff coverage. Absolutely planted 2 Piqua would-be blockers on the back of their pants as he made his way to the ball carrier. Got a glove on him, spun him around, but absolutely slowed him down.
Single receiver this way, or no, the Twins. Lillicrap to throw it over the middle, got a diving catch, Casey Clark. The gain will be good for 14 yards, make it out to the 41, just over the 41-yard line. First and 10 Piqua as the Tribe hits the slant pass.
Well, they're going to have to throw the football. They were unable to run against the Jackets in the first half, so look for them to try to put the ball up and loosen up that Yellow Jacket defense.
Just underway in the third period. From Wirtz Stadium in Piqua, Dave Ross with Dale Gibbon. Here's the option play this way, and they'll hand it to Rob Foster, and the Jackets will greet him in mass and send him back. But forward progress will be a gain of a yard. It'll be second down 9 for the Indians. The Jackets' last win over Piqua, a memorable game. I can still see Todd Taylor with the interception in the end zone at the south end of Julia Lamb Stadium back in 1989 to wrap up a 24-17 win. .11 minutes to play in the period. Lillicrap back to throw, got company, Gets out of the grass, spins forward. He'll pick up about 3. But there was good coverage in the secondary on 2 different Piqua receivers. Arns makes the stop for the Yellow Jackets up at the 45-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down, and they'll still need 7.
Great penetration by the Jackets, and not a real deep drop that time by Lillicrap. He dodged a bullet and was able to get free and pick up 3 and avert disaster. He should have been sacked for a loss.
Lillicrap back to throw. Looking deep over the middle. That'll be underthrown. Howie Ludwig defending for the Yellow Jackets as the intended target was 80 Ryan Darner. And the trend continues. Piqua gets a 1st down, but the second time around, they'll punt it away.
Well, the first play was a good one. They completed a pass, and that time I'm not so sure if it was the coverage or the fact that Ludwig forced the receiver out of his route. The quarterback threw where he was supposed to be and was unable to cut back to the center to come up with a football. Incomplete, 4th down, punting situation.
Mars is the punter. Football at the 45. Sydney's receivers are back at the 10. That's 45 yards from the line of scrimmage. The ball will hit
at the 28.
And it'll roll all the way to the 8. Piqua goes on, or Sydney goes on offense at that point.
Will be Sydney 1st and 10 from there.
Well, the last time the Jackets had the ball in that neighborhood, they were able to march 91 yards and pick up a touchdown. Let's hope for deja vu right here.
Well, some of these statistics for the Piqua kicking game will be a little misleading. 47 yards and no return. They come into the game averaging 29 yards a kick, and tonight they're averaging close to 40.
Football at the 8-yard line at the left hash mark, as we got a little Piqua percussion right in our neighborhood. Goffney will hand it off to Witt. He'll cut it outside. Got a couple of blockers and looks to be out at around maybe the 16-yard line, 17.
I think close to the 17. This will be a pickup of about 8 to 9 yards.
Okay, we'll make it 2nd. Still about 2, but a nice 8-yard pickup when it was very much needed.
Well, once again, Witt comes inside and bounces it to the outside. Piqua pursuit is not able to catch up with him right away. 2nd and short.
Van Tilburg and Smith split to the left. That was handed off to Witt, and a couple Indians had gotten some immediate penetration, including Jason Lang, number 96. So that'll be a loss on the play. Sydney will now look at 3rd down and right around 3.
Maybe a loss of 1 on the play, brings the 3rd and 3.
Well, they read Sydney's mail. They like to go to that quick hitter with the double wideouts. Piqua made the adjustment apparently at halftime there. Snuffed that one pretty soundly for the Yellow Jackets.
Possession play for Sydney, deep in their own territory. It's 3rd and 3. Goffney handed it off to Witt. He looks about a yard short.
He sure does. We'll see where the spot is. Actually, it looks like it may be out close to the 19. If that is, that'll be a Yellow Jacket 1st down, and it is.
Okay, he's closer than we thought, Dale. Stop there. Made by Brett Mars, 45. So Sydney has indeed picked up a big 1st down.
Our angle a little tough to spot right where the yard marker is, but I saw where the line judge was running in to make the spot. It looked like he was coming right down the 19. He was. It's a Yellow Jacket 1st down.
You talk about officials that have been inconspicuous. These guys have done a good job. Oh boy, Goffney back to throw. He's got company. Trent Karn back there. And that'll be a loss as Goffney was going back to throw. And the Piqua players were with him every step of the way. This will be all the way back to the 11-yard line, loss of 8. 2nd down, 18 yards. We're 4 minutes into the second half. Sydney still enjoying a 7-0 lead.
Let's hope the coaching staff spots exactly what's causing that, because they're really gaming to the outside to cut out the Sydney rollout passing game.
Goffney will throw it. Comes out this way. Spradling got a fingertip catch. Not able to break a tackle up at the 17-yard line. It'll be stopped right there.
Brought down by number 30, Casey Clark.
Casey Clark on the stop. Sydney will have 3rd down and a dozen.
The ball at the 17 brings a 3rd down and 12.
Play carried out of bounds, so the clock is stopped with exactly 8 minutes to play in the period. Play comes in from the Sydney sideline with one of the wide receivers. That's 23, Ryan Smith. He'll split to the right along with Van Tilburg.
Allen is the wing on the left. He'll go in motion to the right. Goffney will roll that way and wants to throw. He'll pull up. He's got company from behind. That football was loose. Let's see.
It looked like the Jackets may have gotten on it, Dave. At that time, Goffney had plenty of men in the pattern, but it looked like a Sydney lineman may have pounced on it. We don't see too many excited Piqua Indians right there, and it looks like it will be 4th down. So the Jackets really dodge a bullet and fall on that loose football.
And the guy who got hit pretty good on the play is going to be asked to get away a nice punt. Line of scrimmage will be the 15.
And it'll be over at the far hash mark. Let's see if the Jackets go with a quick snap. If Goffney can angle it this way, there shouldn't be any return.
Here's the boot.
And he does.
It'll tumble. It's allowed to hit. It'll come to midfield. It'll go to the other side of midfield.
We have a penalty flag down in the Yellow Jacket backfield.
I didn't think everybody was set.
It probably will be procedure.
It's at the 46-yard line on Piqua's side of midfield. Oh, holding. So that was something that happened after the snap of the football.
Now they're going to bring it back, so that'll make it half the distance to the goal line.
It sure will. That'll make the line of scrimmage right around the 7.5-yard line.
It'll make it back at the 7. The line of scrimmage was the 14, so that'll put it at the 7. So that's going to erase a nice 42-yard kick.
With no return.
With no return.
Right, it was a 42 net. It's holding against the Yellow Jackets. And in fact, from the spot of that foul, Dale, this is all the way back to the 5.
So it must have happened. Well, it happened in the backfield. First penalty in the ball game, Dave.
Goffney back close to the end of that end zone. Piqua sends some people. Here's the boot. Pretty good one. It'll be fielded by Clark out at the 40, 35. Able to cut, get to the 30, taken out of bounds for Sydney by 25, Nash Pillsbury. And that penalty will make a major difference in Piqua field position of, let's see, 23, 27 yards will be the difference.
Well, a nice kick. It was a 35-yard punt. A good punt, but the return carries the ball down inside the Yellow Jacket 30, make it the 27-yard line. Piqua in the best field position they have had tonight.
Exactly, Dale. 7:07 left in the third period. There's the option play. There's some running room for Manson. Neves and also Witt will wrap him up. But it's after a pretty good initial thrust of about 6 yards.
Spotted at the 21.
Make it 2nd down 4 for Piqua. Both teams shuttling in plays from their sideline via the wide receiver.
And Piqua's got to be fired up. That good defensive play by the defensive unit is giving them great field position.
There's a look down to our right from behind the Piqua offense. Single back behind the quarterback. Sydney changes around their people in the secondary, providing a safety. There will be a pitch back. Manson will carry. Gets through Pulfer. Neves got a hit. Allen finally on the scene. The gain will be to the 15-yard line, where Piqua appears to have a first down. Yes, they do.
It's going to be a gain on the play of 5. They needed 4.
Halfway through the third period, this has been a quickly moving football game.
That'll be a Piqua first down. They're second here in the second half. And they've really come out fired out to start the second half. They stalled their first drive, but this one they got great field position to start out.
Pro set, receiver either way. Lillicrap back to throw. Looking over the middle, got his man there, but Wheeler will be right with Manson out of the backfield, I believe. Yes, 33 Manson. That'll be only 3 on the play. 2nd down 7. The football will be at the 12-yard line.
Lillicrap with all day to throw, but excellent coverage by the Yellow Jackets. They really stayed at home and stayed in their lanes, and they were able to come up with a good tackle. 2nd down and 7.
3 receivers for Piqua, 2 of them to the right side. Jackets with 4 defensive back. Pitch back comes to Manson. He'll get to the 10, down to the 9-yard line. Arn's the first player to help trip him up. Allen also. Neves able to put on finishing touches. The gain will be to the 9-yard line. Piqua looks at 3rd, and they'll still need 3.
Well, you got to think they're looking at 4-down territory. They trail by a 7 spot.
Trip receivers, 2 of them are to the left. There's the look at the bulk of the formation inside. Manson behind his quarterback. Lillicrap will roll, unloads it. That's too tall for Levy out in the left flat. Piqua goes to 4th down.
And that was good coverage that time. Wheeler going stride for stride with Levy. Piqua trying to run a pick play that just didn't pick anybody. Wheeler really having good coverage. So it's going to be a 4th down call, 3 to go. A huge play for the Yellow Jacket defense right here.
4th and 3. Sidney leads 7-0. Football at the 9-yard line. Right hash mark. Both sides of the field really getting into this one. See if Lillicrap might want to throw it. He'll go back. That's exactly what he's got in mind. Slant over the middle, incomplete. And Sidney will take over on downs at the 9-yard line. And again, the Indians only able to generate a single 1st down on their possession. The football reverts to Sidney on a huge sequence.
But sure did, Dave. That's a timing pattern across the middle, going for the post. Lillicrap threw it just as his man was coming out of the break, and there were 3 Yellow Jacket defenders in the area. They didn't necessarily get a hand on the ball, but they screened the receiver from seeing the ball as it got in the area. He was unable to come up with it. Jackets take over 1st and 10, ball on their own 8-yard line.
See what the response is of the Sidney offense and the Piqua defense. Piqua still with a big opportunity given Sidney's field position.
The Jackets really need to get some type of offensive thrust here because you just can't sit back and wait and allow Piqua to continue to knock on your door.
Witt brought down by Karn, no gain, 2nd and 10. Football still at the 9-yard line, just inside the hash mark.
Well, this is the time to get your offensive line fired up. You can come off the football, and the Yellow Jackets are going to take a timeout and maybe just do that.
And Dale will take time in to acknowledge in totality tonight's sponsors on Yellow Jacket Replay, Warner 13 Game of the Week. Cargill Incorporated, Kerrigan, Bowler, Stevenson, and Gottemiller attorneys. TC Sports and Design, the Sidney Shelby County YMCA. Starbank, Sidney Ford Lincoln Mercury, the Heinfeld Insurance Agency, Sidney Interstate Shell, the Dog Pound, Minster State Bank, the Spot and Frisch's Restaurants, Travel to Paradise, Area Energy and Electric, North Dixie Drive-Through Carryout, Wilson's Cardinal Foods, People's Federal Savings and Loan Association, Errol Browd and Alan Browd of Edward Jones and Company, Emerson Wagner Realty, the Farrington Restaurant, A&B Machine Incorporated, the Field House near the University of Dayton, Myers Garage and Drive-Through Carryout in Newport, the Dickman Insurance Agency, FD Lawrence Electric, Thermoseal Incorporated, and Shelby County Collectibles.
Well, Dave, if you've got a play in your playbook that's going to get you about 6 or 7 yards, now's the time to dust it off and use it. The Jackets need to come up with something here. Piqua's defense has really bottled up the Yellow Jackets here in the 2nd half.
Jackets rotate. This will be Van Tilburg trying the right side, cuts it back, got room to the 15, gets a block, gets to the 20, 25, out of bounds into the Piqua bench, all the way up at the 32-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 23.
And what a great block that time by Derek Goffney. You talk about a kid that keeps his head in the game. Van Tilburg with a great piece of running to the right side, breaks free, cuts across the grain, and Goffney, paying attention, comes up and takes 2 Piqua would-be tacklers out of the play.
The gain will be 24 as the football is marked squarely on the 33-yard line.
And a big 1st down for the Jackets.
4:17 left in the half. Goffney hits Spradling into the sideline. He'll get to the 35.
Yes, he'll be
driven out of bounds over there by Clark. Casey Clark, number 30. Pickup of a couple. Jackets have 2nd down, 8 yards to go. The play again carries out of bounds. So we have, with the clock stopped, 4:13 left in the 3rd period.
A nice timing pattern where he just throws it out in the flat. It was to the near side of the field, so he didn't have that much room to run after he caught the football. But it still keeps those corners honest for Piqua and helps that running game.
Wide side of the fields to the right. Goffney will take it that direction on the option play, or maybe a straight keep. He'll put his helmet down and get to the 38-yard line. Levy in on the stop for the Indians. So we'll go now to 3rd down and 6.
Oh, nice pickup on the play that time. Goffney really buried his head and took it up the field. That's what you need to do in that situation. Running that sweep to the wide side.
Spradling split this way. Goffney back to throw. Flushed out. Let's see if he's got some room. He's got a lot of pursuit. He's going to run out of room. Levy makes the stop on him into the Piqua bench, right at the 41-yard line. Pick up of a couple. The Yellow Jackets will have fourth down. They'll need about 3. No, closer to 4. The football will be just shy of the 40, as you heard over the public address.
So that's going to bring up a fourth down situation. The Yellow Jackets kill some time. 3:34 left to go until the end of this third period of play, and now Goffney will be called on to punt it away.
Sharp and Darner are deep. Goffney's boot. This is a driver. This will come all the way back to the 20-yard line where Rob Lillicrap has it. And he will only get to the 22. A tribute to an excellent punt and some very nice coverage. What a night for Derek Goffney to do the job on the punting.
That's a 40-yard punt with a 2-yard return.
That's a beautiful net.
And what a hang time. What a great time to have that happen. And interestingly enough, Dave, it is surprising to see your starting quarterback returning punts. Not something you see very often, but it is a tribute to the athletic ability of starting quarterback Rob Lillicrap for Piqua. Piqua's in business, 1st and 10, ball in their own 22.
At the left hash mark, ice formation. Behind Lillicrap, who runs the option. He'll elect to keep it and will only get to the line of scrimmage. That's going to be about the extent of it.
Great play.
Allen, Neves, we'll credit them with the stop for the Yellow Jackets.
Oh, yeah, Neves coming off the bottom of the pile, but great job of the outside linebacker that time. At being Wheeler, strings the play out, takes the pitch man, forces it back inside. As soon as it comes inside, the Jacket pursuit was able to attack him, make the tackle. Actually, a loss of maybe the length of the football.
From the 21. Lillicrap straight back to throw. Unloads over the middle, well delivered,
Great defense.
But equally well defended. Howie Ludwig went up and made a nice play over Casey Clark. There's no doubt that that was not interference. That was just getting a hand in at the time the ball arrived. The receiver's body, as a replay at home would show, was not disturbed.
Oh, none whatsoever. The ball delivered right on the money. Very catchable ball, but just excellent defense as Ludwig knocks it free and then also wraps up the receiver. Brings up 3rd down and 10. Passing situation for Piqua.
Football still at the 22. 2:43 left in the third frame. Lillicrap to throw. Unloads over the middle. Incomplete for Levy, who had 2 defenders at the 25-yard line. Falls incomplete. That's Wheeler and Allen. And the intensity on the Sydney sideline picks up as Piqua looks at 3 and out.
Well, Dave, we talked about you need to hurry that passer, and that's exactly what happened. Paul Neves came on the middle linebacker blitz, shot in untouched. Lillicrap had to unload. He just knew he was going to get hit. Jackets defense was there, goes incomplete, and now let's see if the Jackets can get this ball. They're standing at about midfield.
Back pretty close to where they need to be. Long count. Doesn't work. There's the boot, and this is a pretty good kick. Fair catch. Howie Ludwig, nice job back at the 44-yard line.
Best punt of the evening right there. It goes a total of 33 yards, no return. But the thing is, the Jackets were able to get their hand up and catch that ball in the fair catch. If they don't, that thing rolls down another 15 yards. Now the Jackets in business, 1st and 10 on their own 45.
For the first time in a while, Dale, the Yellow Jackets with good field position. They've started at the 9, the 8, I'm going backwards, the 9 and the 18 in this football game.
Well, the Jackets with good field position, and now if the offense can buy some time to allow that defense to catch a little breather.
2:28, third period from Wirt Stadium in Piqua. Goffney will hand it off to Witt, gets away from Levy, who couldn't wrap him, and into Piqua territory at the 49-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 6, 2nd down and 4.
Kent Witt with just powerful drive as he hits the center of the line, and we're going to have an injury timeout. It appears that one of the Piqua tacklers in a little bit of pain down there, and he'll be attended to.
So you're probably like most folks. You sit around thinking, hey, what's with all these words that start with double? Double agent, double cross, double play, like where does it all end? Then comes another double. Just sign up for Cellular One service at Area Energy and Electric near Lehman High School in Sydney and get double package minutes through the end of the year. So if you'd like, you can talk twice as much. Plus, you get 15% off monthly access fees, a free Motorola portable phone, and free activation. Restrictions apply. Offer ends October 5th, 1996. You want to see Andy Berkman at Area Energy and Electric in Sydney. Woody Sturm at the North Dixie drive-through carryout in Sydney is glad to support both the Yellow Jackets and the Lehman Cavaliers right here on Warner 13. North Dixie is your complete party supply headquarters, from beverages to ice to chips to charcoal, and those last-minute convenience items like bread and milk. You'll find everything you need from the convenience of your car at the North Dixie drive-thru, just south of I-75 on County Road 25A in Sydney. They're open daily at 10 a.m. with Sunday sales available. Also featuring all the Ohio lottery games, including the twice-weekly lotto. The North Dixie drive-thru also carries propane. Trade an empty cylinder for a full one. That's at the North Dixie drive-thru carryout. The injured player, number 30, Casey Clark, gets to his feet of his own accord and will head to the Piqua sideline.
Well, apparently got his ankles kind of wrapped up inside as the pile moved over top of him on that last play. Kent Witt with a real nice run, Dave, on that first down play. Puts the Yellow Jackets with second down and less than 5 yards to pick up for that first down.
Look almost straight down the line of scrimmage. That's what people are seeing from the Piqua stands directly below us. Goffney will hand it off. There's nice running room for Witt. Got a first down. He'll be stopped by Ryan Darner as he's all the way to the Piqua 43-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 6. First down, 10 yards to go in the final 2 minutes of the third period.
Well, another Yellow Jacket first down, and of course, as long as they keep it on the ground, that clock continues to move. And the Yellow Jackets would want nothing more than to just continue to grind out yardage and move it down for another score.
Double wing, single back, Goffney back to throw. He'll unload it into the sideline, looking for Spradling, a little bit underthrown.
He had him beat.
Yeah, Spradling would have had a step if he could have stayed in stride. He should have been in business between the 10 and the 15. It falls incomplete, though it's done on first down, Dale. It's 2nd and 10.
Well, it was wide open. If he's able to hit Spradling in stride, that is a touchdown, because the safety was not able to get over in time this time to help out. And he really had the halfback beat once again. That's twice they've gotten him on that out and up. But the Jackets come up empty. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Swiger and also Neves shift to the right. Handoff will go to Witt, and he breaks some tackles at the line of scrimmage. He'll get down to the 38-yard line.
Great second effort right there, because he was hit at the line of scrimmage. It looked to be completely bogged down. The Yellow Jackets then bounce it to the outside. 3rd down and about 6 here, Dave. It'll be interesting to see what the Jackets elect to do if they're unsuccessful in getting the first down at this point.
See if they throw underneath toward us.
Well, they like to roll this side.
Well, you know, the way the rushing's gone, who knows? Piqua kind of ganged up on him. Goffney back to throw, got a pocket to work with. There's Spradling, open, fingertip catch, no. It bounced on the turf at about the 12-yard line, and I believe John's camera angle will show at home that that call was correct.
It sure looked like it, but my, what a great effort as Spradling just went parallel with the ground, had it in his fingertips, but I think when he hit the ground, it might have come loose a little bit. Boy, just a tad less, and that's a 6-pointer, but a great effort. The Yellow Jackets come up empty, but boy, Piqua looks vulnerable on that play, and the Yellow Jackets have an equipment problem, so they'll work on getting that taken care of. That's going to bring up a 4th down punting situation, which isn't all bad, but the Jackets decide to go for the home run and came within inches of doing
so close.
just
That drew some boos from the home side, but they didn't have a real good
It's a fake.
Paul Neves has a first down. He is out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Paul Neves took the short snap. That's the guy who was getting his shoulder pad adjusted.
I was going to say it's a good thing he didn't come out of the game. The fake was in, and he's able to take it from the 39 down inside the 30, make it the 29-yard line, a gain of 10 for Neves, and Sydney dials the right number once again, and they're able to come up with a huge first down.
Boy, that's an awful big one, but it's from the right spot on the field. You know,
well,
you think about Dale, the last time that Sydney was in a similar predicament and had a touchback, the net yardage involved isn't a whole lot different.
Oh, you're absolutely right, and now the Jackets nearing field goal range.
That's for sure, and to go up 10-0 would be huge. Football at the 29-yard line. Goffney and company. They'll hand it off to Witt, got some room, cuts it back, gets inside at 33, Zach Manson, and will get to the 25-yard line, or excuse me, yes, the 25. He had been at the 29 rather than the 39, the 29. So now he's at the 25.
Good job of cutback running right there. Kent Witt brings it outside, cuts back against the grain, is able to lunge forward to pick up a big 4 yards, almost 4.5 yards on the carry. And the Yellow Jackets need to get somebody in on the play because they're going to count it down to the end of the quarter. And the fans across the way stand and salute the Yellow Jackets, who enter the 4th period of play leading 7-0.
We've got 12 minutes left. Classic but casual. That describes the Farrington restaurant at I-75 and Fair Road in Sydney. Lunch is highlighted by daily chef specials, including a Friday pasta bar. The very popular Sunday brunch is from 10 to 2. Delicious and creative describes the Farrington's new menu items. Early bird specials and reservations anytime are also offered by the Farrington. Classic but casual, the Farrington. Catering and banquets also a specialty, your place or theirs. Compliments of Jim and Lisa. That's at the Farrington. Football will be at the 25-yard line, toward but not at the right hash mark, as quarter number 4 unfolds. And this very substantial crowd from Sydney, very much in support of their team. You can see a lot of those folks applauding and or standing across the way as Sydney comes onto the turf.
Well, Dave, the Yellow Jackets really had themselves bottled up early in that 3rd quarter, and it was gut check time. It looked like Piqua was beginning to really start to dominate the football game in the second half. But just a great bit of football by the Yellow Jackets and a good piece of running. Chris Van Tilburg was able to bring it out of trouble. The Jackets kicked it away. The defense has just been stellar here thus far this evening for the Yellow Jackets. Now the offense is faced with a 2nd down and 5 as they're driving now deep in Piqua territory.
Football's ready for play. Goffney goes to throw, unloads, got Spradling. He's got a 1st down. Clark is able to hold on to his jersey. But it's a Sydney 1st down. We'll check the exact spot. Looks to be close to the 15-yard line, and we know one thing. That is field goal range at the 16.
It's going to be a pickup on the play of 9, Dave, and you could just see exactly what happened there. The defender had to play soft because he's been burnt too many times on the out and up. The Jackets throw in front of him, pick up another 1st down. Jackets in business, 1st and 10.
This will be Witt on the inside handoff. Love his 2nd effort tonight. That'll get him down to the 13-yard line. Lang on the stop for the Indians. We'll go to 2nd down and 7.
Unofficially, I have Witt at 103 yards and carries thus far as he goes over the 100-yard plateau.
2nd and 7.
The Jackets return home next Friday to face Trotwood Madison. We'll have it for you on Game of the Week. Clock on the move, almost 11 minutes left. Goffney will hand it off to Witt. He'll string this outside, cut it into the 10, down to about the 8-yard line.
It looks like he may have gotten down to the 6, Dave.
Okay, well, we'll see where the knee hit. See where the knee hit. That's
real
what
nice,
we've got to check.
A real nice piece of running, and we're going to have to measure. It's going to be real close to that 6-yard line, so just super extra 2nd effort, that time by Kent Witt. What a ball game he's had thus far this evening.
Oh, I'd say so, and boy, we can pay some tribute to those big guys up front, too.
Oh, yes.
Brett Bickle, 72. Let's call some names here. 63, Jeff Barr.
1st down yardage brings up a 3rd and less than 1.
Double check the rest of the names as they're out there. Those are the 2 that are on our side of the field, guard and tackle.
They have been the workhorses in the trenches, and what a job they've done opening up the holes for the Yellow Jacket running attack.
Right, Doug Saunders in all likelihood would be out there.
Yes, and probably Swiger, Nick Swiger, 64. Here come the Jackets once again. It's going to be 3rd down and less than a yard.
They don't need much right here. Goffney will hand it off to Witt, and he just follows that explosion on the left side. That is a no-brainer, an easy 1st down for the Jackets. While we're naming those names, we just need to pick up a center and a left guard and make sure there haven't been any subs there.
Well, I see 64 for sure, so that's Swiger.
Okay, we got him. That's left guard.
Numbers getting a little tougher to read.
Ryan Moran at center, so that's the group that we were...
That's the package.
Yep, that's the package we've been accustomed to seeing. Just wanted to make sure those were the troops out there, and they've done a beautiful job.
Pick up on the play of 2, Jacket 1st down and goal.
1st and goal from the 4. This is Witt. He'll cut it inside. That's going to be Zender and a couple of others up to deny that short of the goal line, but we'll see exactly where the penetration has taken us.
The Yellow Jackets went double wide out to the left side and then ran the sweep to that direction. It looks like they're going to spot the ball on the 1. It's going to be second down and goal from the 1-yard line. Pick up on the play of 3.
Second and goal from the 1. The series will go to a 15th play.
And what a bunch of time we've eaten up.
Started with 2:28 left in the third period. Now 9:50 to go in the game. Van Tilburg in motion. Kent Witt slashes through. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. Oh, boy.
Well, David kind of says it all. 9:44 left to go in the ball game, and the Jackets will set up to kick what should be their 14th point of the ball game.
Ratterman will hold for Swiger. Brandon Swiger for the PAT. It's down, it's up, it's a bunch. 14-0 Yellow Jackets. And it's with 9:44 to play. Sydney on its way to a real big one. The defense, if they can just get the job done right here, and oh boy, this would be a huge night. As we have mentioned, since 1979, when Sydney would have defeated the Piqua Indians, Jim Lippencott's first year as the Jackets head coach, that was Sydney's last win over Piqua before the Indians won every game until 1989, when Sydney won 24-17, and the Indians have had mastery in the series ever since. And it looks like the Jackets are going to pull one off in this place for the first time in a long time, which would have been 1979.
Well, you've really got to like the way the Yellow Jacket defense has responded thus far this evening, and that's allowed the offense to take some gambles and some risks. That's why you're able to take the risk on a 4th down and run the fake punt. Keep that drive alive. Sydney knew how huge that second touchdown would be. And they now have a 14-point lead, and it's up to the defense to do their thing. And let's see if Swiger can light one up and stick it in the end zone.
Clark and Lillicrap set to receive the kick from Swiger.
78 would have been Sydney's last win here. That would have been under Dave Gates. From the 10-yard line, bringing the football forward, Ryan Darner, number 80. Jackets will stick a couple of people on him as he's able to move forward to the 32-yard line. So Piqua will go from there, and they are a full 2 scores behind at 14-0.
Darner winced a little bit as the number 40 flashed by him, and I'm sure he had a recollection of the kick that he returned with about 19 seconds to go until halftime, when he got lit up pretty good by number 40, Ryan Wheeler. 9:37 to go until the end of this football game. Double wideouts right. Piqua 1st and 10. Ball on their own 33.
Option play. Pitch will go to the right side. That's 43 Foster. He'll cut it back, and in terms of what's left in the game and how far behind they are, that didn't get nearly what it needed to, as Arns makes the tackle out at the 36-yard line. Or make it just over the 35, so we'll call it 2nd and 7.
Oh, we'll give him a gain of 3, but all 3 of those yards were gained with Sydney Yellow Jackets wrapped around and actually were pushing him forward to make the tackle. He was hit at the line of scrimmage or even perhaps in the backfield.
Jackets picking a dandy night to throw a shutout, if indeed that ends up being our final outcome. Lillicrap back to throw, unloads over the middle. That was right in the breadbasket of Clark, and that football was not retained at the 47-yard line.
Well, it was definitely very catchable, but as soon as he dropped the football, he was also planted to the turf by the Sydney secondary. You make them pay the price, they come across the middle. They'll keep thinking about that. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 situation, Dave. The Yellow Jacket defense now should be expecting pass. They might play a little softer, and I'm sure that defensive line is just going to lay their ears back and head towards quarterback Rob Lillicrap.
Drives of 91 and 55 yards have Sydney ahead 14-0. Lillicrap back to throw, steps up in the pocket, throwing a home run. That's probably out of bounds.
It is.
Yeah. So it's not even an issue, as over there was 21, Derek Basil.
We talked about some statistics going in. Derek Goffney thus far this year, Dave, going into this game, was throwing about 50% passing. And Piqua, although they had thrown the ball well, their completion percentage was only 44%, which made me a little suspect of their passing game. If they're not completing over 50%, something's amiss. And it's kind of
spelling itself out here as they have been incomplete on their last 6 attempts.
Jackets will keep Piqua honest on this, although I'm pretty sure we'll see a punt.
They were looking for the fake.
There's the boot, and this is a quality punt. Ludwig got a late start on that and came up and made what looked to be an awkward yet effective catch out at the 35-yard line.
Well, it's going to be a 34-yard punt and about a 2-yard return, but that was a very dangerous situation.
Sure was.
When you're looking for the fake, you really have to have your people just catch that ball, fair catch it, because you don't want to take the risk of a fumble in that situation. Ludwig really kind of gambling, almost catching that at his knees, but fortunately he hangs on to the football. Jackets have it, 8:41, and what a job the defense is doing.
14-0 Sydney. Both teams entered at 3-0. It'd be a big computer point win for one of these teams, and right now that would appear to be Sydney. That's a fumble.
The ball was loose, but it looked like it was retained by the Yellow Jackets.
Right, that would be Kent Witt, the ball carrier, and it'd be for loss of a yard. Mars in on the stop along with Karn. I'd said that looking at Sydney in the preseason that I thought there was a good chance they could come to this game with maybe even a deceiving 3-0 record. But on the 4th night of the season, the opening of league play, we'd find out whether it was real.
Yep, I would say that they're for real.
That's sure how it's looking.
Well, the offensive line needs to do something here. If the Jackets could sustain any type of drive at all, 1 or 2 first downs, and it's all over.
No doubt about that. Goffney back to throw, throwing a home run. Spradling not quite able to run under it. That's caught by one of the sideline people over there for Sydney. And so the Jackets will now look at 3rd and 11.
Oh, they tried just to freeze the halfback. They threw it up before he made his break up the field. Just kind of lobbed one up to let Spradling run under it. Spradling never picked the ball up when he made his turn. The ball was actually over his head before he ever saw it. So it goes incomplete, stops the clock, just under 8 minutes to go. So the Jackets, I would suspect, may just try to run this out and kick the ball away and allow their defense to eat up the clock and stop the Indians.
Goffney with a call. Will hand it off to Witt on the sweep to the left. Can't quite string that out enough. He'll be, can't see if he was knocked out of bounds or not. He may have been.
Well, the clock has stopped as they get the ball spotted.
Okay, so Sydney will bring the punt team on, still needing 4th and 8, 7.
Yeah, make it about 7. Gain on the play of 4.
7:51 to play. Clock is moving. So they just had to get the ball reset for play. Good snap from center. Indians try to block it. Goffney, a pretty good kick. It'll be caught at the 32 where the receiver, in catching the football, that's 30 Clark, Casey Clark, went forward, took a knee as he caught the ball, so it's pretty elementary. Piqua starts from there.
Only a 31-yard punt that time for Goffney, but there's no return. And the way he had to gamble to catch that ball could have very easily been fumbled, and what a crushing blow that would have been to the Piqua Indians. 7:40 left to go in the ball game, Dave, and the Yellow Jackets defense is called upon one more time to shut down the Piqua Indians.
This is with the luxury of a 14-0 lead. Hand off to the first man through. That's Manson on the first leg of the option play. Got a couple. Allen on the stop for the Yellow Jackets, along with Pulfer. Billing also there. Well, one thing, in recent years, we've called a lot of names when it came to the tackles.
Especially the one by Paul Neves. We've called that a lot over the last 4 years.
No, we're in our 4th year with him.
But tonight we're calling the name of Ben Pulfer quite a lot. He's really doing a job in the center of that Sydney defensive line. Gain on the play of 3.
2nd down, 7. Indians with a split backfield. Lillicrap wants to throw. Wants to put it up deep over the middle. That's underthrown. Actually, Pillsbury had the best shot at it for the Jackets. It was intended for Darner. Falls incomplete. Piqua looks at 3rd and 7. And Dale, if they don't convert, they're just about to the point they'd have to go for 4th.
But you wonder right there, too, Dave. You look at that pass. They needed 7 yards for a first down, and they throw a 20-yard route. Sydney just setting back in deep safety. You've got to throw underneath their safeties if you want to be successful.
Yeah, for instance, safety Howie Ludwig's back at the 48. He's got a pretty good drop. There'll be a toss out in the flat, and that was intended for Manson. It's over his head. Piqua will look at 4th down and 7, and the Indians, after some earlier success, just don't appear to be very comfortable with their passing.
A lot of Jackets in the backfield, and Lillicrap's got to unload quickly before Manson was ever able